the Manwich, and it's got eggs and cheese and deep fried candied bacon all on this brioche bun. It's like people come from all over for this sandwich. And boy, that temptation. Oh, deep fried candied bacon? Come on now. What's up, heroes? This week I'm excited because we're going to be installing our daily disciplines. A discipline is just simply something you do or you don't do. It's something that defines you. You don't budge on it. It's a part of your identity. It's who you are. I remember listening to an interview that an athlete was doing. It was an Olympic athlete. And they asked, what is the difference between you? Like, why are you able to do extraordinary things? And he said, quite simply, average people just do what they feel like doing. He's like, extraordinary people do what they have to do. They have a discipline. And that's what discipline is. It's just a set of rules and principles that you live by. You do or you don't do these things, and they define who you are. It's your makeup. It's going to lead to your success. And so this week we're going to install your daily disciplines. And when I think of discipline, it reminds me of a friend of mine. Several years ago, he converted to being vegan, and he had spent, his entire life, 30 years of his life, eating meat and dairy and everything he wanted to eat. And then all of a sudden, he watched a documentary one day, and he decided that he wanted to be vegan. It wasn't rooted in religion or some deep spiritual thing. From a health perspective, he just wanted to convert to this new vegan lifestyle. We went out to dinner as a group one day with a bunch of us. It was for like a friend's engagement party, and we couldn't change the venue. And so we were trying to decide, or he was like, where are we going to eat? And the place that we were going to eat was a steakhouse, and they didn't have any vegan options. And I remember he showed up to the restaurant with Tupperware, with his own meal. And we were like, John, what are you doing, man? Like, dude, we're out celebrating. You can bend just this one time, right? Like, you're not doing this for religion or anything. Like, you can have a steak today and just go back to being vegan tomorrow. Like, it's not gonna ruin anything with the universe. It's like, just make this exception one time. And he was like, no, it's like, this is non-negotiable for me. I will exhaust every option rather than bend on this discipline that I have. Like, I made this decision, I committed to it. This is my discipline, and it's non-negotiable. And I'll never forget that day, because that word non-negotiable it like was stamped on my heart. That's what a discipline is. A discipline is something that you've determined is non-negotiable. You won't budge on it. When you have that type of resolve for things, that you don't budge, you don't make excuses, you will exhaust every possibility, but then bend on that discipline. Like, the day doesn't end without you staying true to that discipline. That's where your success lies, is in those people that have a staunch discipline for certain things. And so this week we want to talk about, what are your disciplines? I recently had to determine this for myself. I went to the doctor several weeks ago, and I had some blood work done, and the doctor gave me my results, and she says, Jarvis, your cholesterol is high. And it's to the point where I want to recommend you going on medication. And I know what that means. I have family members that are on cholesterol medication. And basically at that point, you're on medication for life. I said, well, doctor, I thought I'm a pretty healthy person. Like, I don't want to be one of those people on medication. I was like, what other options do I have? And she said, well, you can make some lifestyle changes. If you decide that you want, from this point going forward, you need to limit red meat, you need to limit full fat dairy like cheese and milk, you need to limit your alcohol intake. She's like, if you can successfully make these lifestyle changes, then you don't need to go on medication. But if you can't, then I'm going to put you on cholesterol medication. I said, trust me, I'm going to make these changes. I don't want to go on medication. I left that doctor's office knowing that, okay, Jarvis, you need to be serious about your diet now. Limit your red meat, limit your alcohol, limit your full fat dairy. The problem with this was high cholesterol leads to heart disease and heart attacks and all this stuff. So in my mind, like, this is life-threatening. Even though this is a life-threatening thing, the problem was that she said, just limit your red meat, limit your alcohol. And so in my mind, that word limit gave me an out. it gave me an excuse. Even though I'm motivated, like, yes, I want to make these changes, I still had that excuse that all I had to do was limit those things. It seemed like every day that following week after this doctor appointment, every day there was an excuse. Something came up. We went to a Padres baseball game. It's like, okay, well, of course I'm gonna have a couple beers and a hot dog. I'm at the baseball game. So, okay, I'll start the diet tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna get serious about this. And then the next day it was a friend's birthday party and we're out at a restaurant. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'm at a restaurant, I'm celebrating with friends. Okay, I'll have the cheeseburger today just because I'm here at this occasion. But starting tomorrow for sure, I'm gonna get serious about this diet. And then the next day, something else came up. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll just have a glass of wine tonight just because of this one occasion. I had some friends come over for dinner and okay, I'll make an exception today because I don't want to be the oddball here not having a glass of wine. Today I'll have it, but tomorrow I'm starting on my diet. I promise. Every day that week, I had bent on this new lifestyle change that I committed to doing. I got to the point where I was like, you know what? Something has to stop. And I thought back to my friend. I was like, he was able to convert to a vegan just like that. And to the point where he bought his Tupperware, he had a discipline. I was like, how can I install a discipline for myself? And what I had to do was determine and make a commitment that this was non-negotiable for me. I came up with this non-negotiable discipline that I don't eat red meat, I don't eat dairy, and I don't drink. And for me, that's a successful day. A successful day for me from a health perspective is if I stay true to that as a discipline and make it non-negotiable. So every day I would start writing down that. I would write it every morning in my journal. I don't eat red meat, dairy, or alcohol. I don't do these things. And what I noticed was I stopped making excuses. Like I would write it every morning and remind myself, like, this is what I do. It's just who I am. It's a part of me. It's part of my identity now. I would go out and now I didn't make excuses. Like the other day we went out for brunch and I asked the waiter, what's the best thing on the menu? She's like, oh, by far the best thing on the menu. Everyone comes from all around the world for this sandwich. It's called the Manwich and it's got eggs and cheese and deep fried candied bacon all on this brioche bun. It's like people come from all over for this sandwich. You can't leave here without getting it. And I looked at it and boy, that temptation. Oh, deep fried candied bacon? Come on now. But I thought to myself, I don't eat red meat. I don't eat dairy and I'm not drinking. So, can I just get the spinach frittata? I had successfully installed a discipline. And then I said, okay, if it works so well for that, what other disciplines can I come up with? So I came up with 5. I came up with 5 disciplines. I call them my 5 daily disciplines. And it defines what a successful day is for me. My health perspective, I don't eat red meat, dairy, or alcohol. I break a sweat every day. I read every day. That's to make sure from a learning perspective. I reach out to someone from my center of influence every day for my relationships. I post content every day. That's for my business. Those were my 5 daily disciplines that I came up with, and I write them down every day. I declare them, and I just sit back and kind of close my eyes and sink into them. And for the last 2 weeks, every single day, like I've burned those in and I stay true to them now. They're non-negotiable. I don't bend. I don't break. I've successfully installed my disciplines, and every day I have a successful day. And so now we're going to determine, what are your disciplines? What would define a successful day for you? What are 5 things? Come up with 5 of them. 5 things that if you stay true to those 5 things, that would be a successful day. Come up with one for your business, a daily discipline for your business, a daily discipline for your health and fitness, a daily discipline for your relationships, a daily discipline for your learning and growing. What are 5 things that if you did those things in that day, every day, like that would be success for you, and you know that would lead you to be the person that you need to be to hit all your goals and achieve what you need to achieve. Come up with your 5 daily disciplines, and it's the key to your success. All right, heroes. See you next video.